Hi, once again, welcome to this show called Leading with Partha, which is brought to you by the Express Group. And I'm delighted once again being back on this show and sharing some of my inputs and experiences on the topic of the day. Today's topic, I want to talk about building a high performing IT team. Okay. And how do we, as CIOs, as head of ITs, as key IT personnel, how do we build a high-performing IT team? Sometimes it's a very easy question to answer, and sometimes it's a very difficult question to answer. It's easy because it's like building any other high-performing team. And it's difficult because the landscape is changing so much faster that how do we build a team which then when it arrives, the subject matter, the knowledge requirement, etc. has changed dramatically. So we have to figure out a way to deal with subject matter expertise and ability to adapt and change. Okay. So let me start by first once again defining something which will be a mool mantra going forward on many of the topics that we will discuss. Your job is to enable, enhance, and engender the workplace, the business, and the constituents that you serve. Enable, you understand very easily, whatever is required by business, whatever is required by customers, how do you fulfill them? Enhance is how do you make their life a little more easier, productivity higher, customer experiences better than even what they had asked for. And that will enhance their capabilities in the marketplace and in their constituency. That will stand them in good stead, and therefore, by default, will stand you in good stead. There is a higher order requirement. Today, life is changing dramatically. So how do you engender or create some new business model, some new things for them? Why? Data, for example, can tell you new business movements that are coming. And then you can help the business change the model. What has happened by creating marketplace is that IT and digital has enabled new business model to emerge. So you have to therefore look at these three elements. So now let me come to high performing IT teams. So therefore you have to build teams which will be able to do all the three. One is easier that I will help enable department. So how do I keep the lights on? How do people excel in doing that? And how do they make the customer experience during the process when they come in a delightful experience? They come in very unhappy, they go out very happy because you go solutions for them. And sometimes if you're able to give solution that they never have to come to you, that becomes a dramatically important experience. For example, electricity is never felt as a requirement till it goes out. So you expect electricity to be there. For example, now connectivity, you expect it to be there. By making sure it is there every time, you are serving that requirement. So build teams around that. And when you build teams, they are of a different variety of people, the tenacity, the patience, and the ability to understand the nuances and focus on preventive maintenance rather than reactive maintenance. So this is the first team that you have to build. So build a cadre for that, who are longer term serving, who are there to deliver, and who are there to deliver ongoing. What could be considered as mundane? I don't, but it could be considered as the same people who can do repetitive things. This is like the shop floor. Create a shop floor and people who will be in the shop floor for a very long period of time, whose job is to produce quality first time right and every time right. So this is the first portion. The second portion is enhance. How do you do it? So when you do an ERP, think of things which will delight them, When you do a network, think of that which will delight them, and therefore build capability around this. Here you will need people who interact with customers ongoing basis and find ways to from marketplace to enhance. So connectivity with market and building bridges with the customer will be a very big factor in this. Collect here people who have domain knowledge, but who have the ability to understand requirements and find something more. And this particular thing, it will form your, shall we say, the heart of whatever organization you're trying to build. Bring expertise, but expertise not like people knowing what are the accounting standards, because that will change. What are the IT standards? It will change. But what you bring in people who can adapt, who can keep learning, and therefore build a learning organization and challenge that current skills based on current knowledge of a particular language or domain is enhanced as things go on. And almost every 2 years, they should go through a reprogramming, in a sense, of themselves. So that will be the enhanced part. The engender is more difficult. You are talking about cutting edge technology and ability to IT to find ways to enhance the customer journey and create new business models. So 2 or 3 things you can do here. First is that data is an area. So find data scientists and data engineers who kind of keep ahead of the curve, and therefore, based on the insight, provide a delightful experience to the customer, end customer, and therefore create new business models. The second one could be around AI and its things. We don't know AI, but ChatGPT has changed many things. Other things will come which will change. And we have to kind of keep thinking about this, that how will it change my customer's experience, and then suggest that to our audience, to our constituents, to our customers. That will do. And then the third part, is equally important, but let me not get away from AI. Artificial intelligence will change the way the world is working very fast. So we need somebody to keep watching this space. Even if you are not ahead of the curve, which is very difficult, we can be great followers and quickly take that, create a sandbox, experiment, and then see what we can do. And the third one, which I said, is there are many things which are around customer journey. Somebody told me there's nothing more important than customer journey. So let him keep looking at the customer journey. How is it changing? What are the things which are happening? And then try along with the marketing, sales, and other parts of the company's team, try to build some new experiences for them, new productivity, which is dramatically increased, changing of business model, which is happening. And when you put these three things together, what you need to do is, can you create an insight and information center? Provide them information, provide them insights, and through that, try to define new business model. This team, every time you say create new business model, it will not happen. But if you create insights and distinct information, we can start to impact the customer journey much better. That will lead to new business models. So do that. So enable, enhance, and engender. Create teams around all three, and create something specifically for engender. Because unless you do it, you will become extinct rather than high performing. And as you do that, keep the inside team, you will also augment the great efforts that the enable team and the enhance team does. And last but not least, please remember, today's domain expert is not what you are trying to create. Like ice hockey, you are trying to be where the ball will reach. So therefore, you are trying to adapt. So let people continuous learning and skill enhancement. So look not for knowledgeable people, but adaptable people, agile. And that's what we should do. And diversity is the big benefit area So bring more diversity into teams and make sure they are agile and adaptive. So that's all I have for a high performing team. And if you make all the ingredients of this, I'm sure you will have a fantastic high performing. All the best.